Squid Game Season 3 has officially concluded, wrapping up Guhan's journey after 23 intense episodes. But even with the final game played, was it truly the last? The series hints that these deadly games might still be happening globally. This season heavily centered around the moral conflict at the core of the games. The contrast between life and death. The manipulation of the vulnerable for the amusement of the wealthy. And a trichotomy of control, exploitation, and resistance. Across the 6 episodes, themes of human nature, morality, and faith in goodness were explored deeply, leading to a powerful and emotional conclusion. So in this video, we'll break down the ending of Squid Game Season 3, go over what happened to each main character, discuss the shocking deaths and the brutal games, and explain what the finale really means. Spoiler alert, you've been warned. The final scenes of the series starkly portray the darker side of human behavior. While the soldiers, the frontmen, and the VIPs were obviously corrupt, the real horror was how many players willingly betrayed and murdered others for a better shot at winning the prize money. In the final game, Sky's Squid Game, Guhan was given a knife and a chance to eliminate the remaining players in their sleep, leaving only himself and the newborn baby, player 22. This would make the game unplayable. Interestingly, this is how In-ho won the game in the past. He slaughtered everyone while they slept. In-ho offered Guhan the same choice to see if he would fall to the same level. But Guhan didn't give in. He chose to move forward and play the game honorably. Player 100 perfectly represented humanity's darkest tendencies. He constantly sacrificed others to survive, and, in the final game, even supported the idea of killing the innocent baby. The most disturbing moment came when Mong-ji, driven by greed, was willing to murder his own child to claim the prize. A defenseless baby, guilty of nothing, was about to be destroyed by the worst of human nature before even living a full week. This sparked the final confrontation between Guhan and Mong-ji. But before the game truly began, before the button had even been pressed, Mong-ji fell to his death. Even in that moment, Guhan tried to save him, showing the depth of his compassion. Then Guhan stepped to the edge of the platform. He looked at the frontmen, the VIPs, and straight into the camera, as if speaking to the audience, and said, "We are not horses. We are humans, and humans are..." Before finishing his sentence, he stepped off and fell to his death, keeping the promise he made to Jan-hee. The most important thing is letting the baby survive. Guhan sacrificed his life so that an innocent one could live. A powerful statement that he never strayed from his morals. The money didn't tempt him, and he remained a good person until the end. This moment deeply impacted Kang-nol, who was watching everything unfold. She had nearly given up on life and her search for her daughter. But witnessing Guhan's selfless act rekindled her belief that humanity still has good in it. With the Coast Guard closing in, thanks to Junho's efforts, the baby was declared the winner. In-ho rescued her, and everyone evacuated as the island was set for destruction. After the final game, we saw where all the main characters ended up. Junho was stripped of his detective title due to the actions he took. In-ho left the baby with Junho, along with a debit card containing the prize money. Woo took over the Pink Motel after being released from prison, planning to reopen it as a business. Guhan's money, mysteriously missing from the motel, turned up in the US. In-ho personally delivered it to Guhan's daughter. handing her a card with all the funds. Ironically, Guhan had entered the games to earn money for his daughter, hoping to give her a better life. But she grew resentful of him due to his absence, saying she stopped waiting for him long ago, proving that money can't fix everything. Kang Nol boarded a flight to China, hoping to reunite with her daughter, just like player 246 did. The final chilling moment came when In-ho, now in Los Angeles, saw a recruiter initiating a new player with the same Dokji game. The games had clearly gone international. Whether In-ho is being reassigned as frontman or stepping away is left open, but his visit to Guhan's daughter and his decision to pass on his belongings suggest a change of heart. The ending of Squid Game exposed the depth of human cruelty, how far people will go for wealth and survival, often at the cost of others. Yet it also highlighted the possibility of hope, kindness, and sacrifice in the face of overwhelming darkness. No matter your background, every life matters equally. Season 3 featured far more deaths than Season 2, many of them emotionally devastating. Hyeonju's death in Episode 2 was the first major emotional blow. During the hide-and-seek game, she discovered the exit but chose to stay and help Kyungja and Jeonhae. Tragically, Monji killed her in front of the very people she was trying to save. Kyungja later killed her own son, Yong, to protect Jeonhae. She delivered a heartbreaking speech before ending her own life, overwhelmed by guilt. Jeonhae, during the jump rope game, fractured her ankle and couldn't continue. With tears in her eyes, she handed off her baby and leapt to her death to ensure the child's survival. Minsu, a character lost in life and haunted by trauma, reached the final game, but his hallucinations of Semi, Thanos, and Numu led to his death when he mistook a pole for her outstretched hand. And finally, the most powerful death, Guhan's. His end wasn't just tragic, it was essential. It showed that there is still good in the world. He played the game with integrity, never cheating or betraying others, and stayed true to his values until the end. In my opinion, this was a strong and fitting conclusion to Squid Game. Every storyline, from the games themselves to the personal arcs of the characters, was balanced and complete. Unlike Season 2, where things felt uneven, Season 3 kept the tension high, especially in the final 2 episodes. Squid Game elevated the concept both literally and emotionally. Mongji's willingness to sacrifice his own child for wealth was haunting and drove home the central theme of human depravity. The cast gave outstanding performances, and emotionally, this season felt more impactful than Season 2. I was far more invested in the characters this time around. Still, I don't think either Season 2 or 3 surpassed the magic of Season 1. That one was simply iconic. As for the games, they were brilliantly designed. Hide-and-seek was brutal and intimate. Jump rope was physically and mentally terrifying. And Squid Game was my personal favorite due to the betrayals and intensity. I respect the creators for choosing to end the show instead of dragging it out. Too many series lose their meaning that way. Killing off the main character was a bold and respectful decision. Squid Game has been a generation-defining show, one that wasn't just entertaining, but deeply meaningful. That wraps up the Squid Game Season 3 ending explained. Let me know your thoughts on the ending in the comments.